Well, it's time now for our health report, and joining us now is Africa 54 health correspondent Lino Medu with new details on global mental health. Lino.
A new Lancet Commission report on mental health says mental disorders are on the rise in every country around the world and will cost the global economy $16 trillion by the year 2030. The report says the economic cost is primarily due to early onset of mental illness and lost productivity. The Lancet Commission on Global Mental Health and Sustainable Development brought together 28 global experts in psychiatry, public health, neuroscience, and advocacy, as well as people with first-hand experience of mental health conditions. The authors say mental health is often neglected and underfunded, even though nearly 2 billion people suffer from mental illness every year. The report recommends that mental health be reframed as a fundamental human right and that the definition be expanded to promote mental well-being, prevent mental health problems, and enable recovery from mental disorders. Mental illness is the subject of the upcoming documentary series, Growing Up in America, exploring different parts of American cities, cultures, and conversations surrounding the minority communities in America. The first episode of the documentary series revolves around the stigma of mental health within the Black, first-generation, and immigrant communities in Austin, Texas. Joining me now is the producer of the documentary, Ethiopian-American filmmaker and digital storyteller, Nathan Araya. Nathan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me in Illinois.
So, first of all, you thought about having this documentary series,
right,
and then you decided to have the first episode focusing on mental health. What prompted you to focus your lenses on the issue?
There was so many things that were happening within my community. So there were people dealing with anxiety, depression, at many different ages, from the college to the working professional, as well as refugees, immigrants, first-generation Americans. So I noticed that we have a lot of external pressures that are happening in our society today that's creating internal conflict. And we don't know really what to do with it and how to handle it. Yeah. So my goal was to be able to dive into this subject as a filmmaker, to provide stories of representation so that many people may be able to relate and know that they're not alone.
And get the conversation going. So what we're going to do is take a look at the trailer, and we'll come back and have more. Here's an excerpt.
This is My America. I'm Nathan Araya. As a first-generation Ethiopian-American filmmaker, my passion for traveling and storytelling has led me to better understand the identity.
You go to sleep, you have a bad nightmare, and you wake up and you have that feeling. Just imagine that every day. And that's what Afghanistan was.
It's weird that you only see the extremes and stuff nowadays. You either see somebody with the perfect family or you see Kanye.
So mental health, such a broad range of different conditions. What were some of the findings as you were investigating this topic? What did you find that was really amazing or surprising as you talked to the community?
I think many people are dealing with so many different harsh realities today, and they just don't know how to be able to articulate it. So part of my focus with this new documentary series and event series, Growing Up in America, is to elevate the conversation of mental health so that we can bring it to the forefront of what is existing and how we can tackle it. How do we first articulate our experiences? Because many of us go through trauma and different issues. And Dr. Brennan Wattis, a good friend of mine who's a psychiatrist in the military, he once said that trauma is experienced individually, but is healed within community.
Interesting.
So, that's something that I really just found phenomenal because, we're all together in dealing with these issues, and we may not be able to fix the problem overnight, but we can face them today.
And one of the issues also is the fact that access to care is a challenge for many people in minority communities where you focused on. Talk to us about some of the activities around the documentary, because it's not just about the film. It's much more than that.
Right. So this documentary episode is called Mental Health is Wealth, and we started an event series called State of Mind, and it's a travel-based event series that we do in different parts of the nation. We started in Austin, Texas. We partnered with Mayor Steve Adler and local therapists and researchers of color better so that they can be able to articulate it. So this film is a short film. We have maybe about a 15-minute film, and then we open up to a panel discussion with these local researchers and therapists. And then after that, we enter into a town hall discussion. Okay. And then with that, we provide resources for people, because I've never experienced anything regarding cures for mental illness or challenges, even being able to articulate what that even means. So my goal with this event series is to lower the barrier that exists between the healthcare providers and the underrepresented communities of America. So we provide this past event, we provided a 1-hour free therapy session, 30 free-minute consultations, and then also resource handouts for the community.
Okay. And also stigma is a big problem.
Right.
Trying to address that through the documentary. Talk to us about how people are responding to mental health with regards to stigma. Some people don't even want to come out with their condition.
Yeah. One of the people within the film, Evelyn from the Internet's digital storyteller, viral sensation, she's amazing, Kenyan American. She said that she grew up with the idea of mental health having this wide spectrum, where there's on one end, if you're dealing with something like schizophrenia or you're hearing voices, okay, then that's acceptable to get mental health care.
So much to do, and we have to leave it there, unfortunately, Nate, and we'll continue the conversation on the radio program. Thank you so much for joining us today. And that's Nathan Araya. He is a filmmaker and the producer of the documentary Growing Up in America.